So, all right, now that housekeeping is done and there are more of us in the room, I'd like to greet all of you again, dear members, partners of GIFT. Thank you for joining us in the first virtual session of the GIFT Stewards General Meeting for 2024. Our theme, let me just go back to the title of our session. Our theme for this year is Strengthening Fiscal Openness Together, Progress, Innovation, and Collective Action. And now, to officially welcome us all, I would like to give the floor to our very hardworking, dedicated Gift Network Manager, Raquel Ferreira. See you, Raquel.
Thank you very much, Marianne. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. It is a true privilege and honor to welcome you all to the GIFT Stewards General Meeting. We are thrilled to have you here with us today and look forward to hearing your valuable insights and updates. We are also eager to share the progress and key developments in the work we are currently undertaking. We hope you find the meeting both engaging and productive. In the interest of time, I will now hand the floor back to Marianne, who will guide us through the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Raquel, for the very short and sweet, but still very warm welcome, and for providing briefly the objectives of our meeting. So now let me also add a bit of overview on the agenda of the SGM 2024. As Raquel has mentioned, we will have sessions, specifically 2 sessions. So the first session is today, which is the Stewards General Assembly. And another session is scheduled for next week on promoting innovative and meaningful uses of budget data, showcasing 2024 data quests and data rally journeys, where we will feature data quest and data rally experiences from the Philippines and also the state of Guanajuato, Mexico, and also from Mexico City. So in session 2, we'll have a panel with organizers and winners of these initiatives that will share ways for government and civil society to collaborate better towards enhancing and expanding the use of fiscal data for better development outcomes. So we hope to see you all again next week. But now, going back to our session in progress, let me just share with you the outline of our session program today. After our introductions, the meat of our agenda will actually be centered on the gift steward updates, the first item after the welcome remarks. So the most important part of the network, of course, are our members, our stewards, our partners. So in this session, we would like to hear from you, especially about the latest updates on your fiscal openness work, including key lessons, accomplishments, and plans for sustaining and advancing fiscal openness initiatives. Then afterwards, after the updates will last around an hour. We have dedicated an hour for that. Then after, we'll have a presentation on the GIFT Strategic Work Plan, highlighting progress and ongoing efforts across the network as facilitated by the GIFT coordination team. We'll then open the floor for some questions, comments, and then we'll also have an exciting announcement to make about the GIFT online course, Advancing Fiscal Transparency for Development. But I will not preempt anything about that, so you will have to stay until the end of our session if you want to learn more about it. Now, I think with that, if you don't have any questions on the agenda, I think we can start with the meat of why we're here today in the Stewards General Assembly, which is the GIFT Stewards Update. So we will have an initial list of representatives who will be providing intervention based on communications that we received in response to a survey that we have shared with you previously. So we will be calling upon each steward who has expressed in advance intention to present. We'll call you one by one. You'll have 3 minutes to provide updates. We will kindly enforce the time limit. So just a reminder for all our representatives to be straightforward and brief in the updates and But for those who haven't gotten the chance to confirm their intention to present prior to this meeting, don't worry, we have a little bit more time to accommodate additional interventions in plenary later. But we'll prioritize, of course, those who had immediately informed us that they want to share updates today. But please do not hesitate to let us know via Zoom chat or by pressing the raise your hand button later if you also want to share relevant updates from your organization or from your country. Then we'll add you to the queue and recognize you after our first batch of sharers are done with their updates. So that's how this session will go. I hope that's clear. So to start with our round of updates, I know you don't have a lot of time, so I'm putting you first in our queue. Let me call in Andrew Blasey from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. Thanks for joining us today, Andrew. You have the floor.
Great, thanks, and very nice to be here. Are you able to let me share a slide just to put up as a background as we go?
Sure. I'll make you co-host, and there you go. So you can share your screen now.
Great. Giving me a set of options, but not, here we go. No, I can go.
There you go.
Lovely. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's great to be here, and also in Slovenia too. And I've just been talking about your GIFT's work, actually, and all the good work that it does. And thanks for having me first up, as I am going to drop out and then come back in for the rest of the session. What I wanted to do is just very briefly outline what it is that the senior budget officials in the OECD are doing at the moment. You know, what are if there are three things of what we're focusing on, what are they? And the first is what we call quality budget institutions, where we're looking at the quality of them rather than just the existence of them. And in particular, following COVID-19, the quality of institutions has been highlighted to us more than ever about how important that is for resilience and for recovery. The second area is on empowering public understanding, highly relevant to what GIFT does, but also is showing that fiscal transparency is not a static topic, but one that keeps developing and keeps responding to both user needs in terms of the demand for information, but also technology and the way in which it's available. And this third area is on strategic budget initiatives. These are things that require a whole of government response. It might be climate change, it might be gender equality, it might be poverty reduction, but it's where topics that are included in the budget go beyond the boundaries of a single ministry and require coordination through a budget process. Now, in 3 minutes, I'm not going to cover all three. I can provide you with information on them if you would like separately. I'd like to just touch on the first one in terms of what do we mean by quality budget institutions, because this one, as a diagram shows, is how we think about budgeting. It's what we call our spending better framework, and it connects various elements of a budget process and budget output together. It's deliberately shown there as an interconnection so that you can see it as a system that works together, and to recognize that there are dependencies across various elements, whether it be clear fiscal objectives in terms of things like fiscal rules, whether it's about being open on objective economic assumptions to understand the integrity of how forecasts are prepared, whether it be budget disciplines about the medium term or ceilings, and to recognize, importantly, in here, number 8, line ministries as partners, in terms of recognizing that we are part of an interconnected set of stakeholders, line ministries, agencies that are involved in the budget coming together. Obviously, of equal importance, you'll see there budget transparency in terms of being dear to all of our hearts, but to recognize that that in itself can apply across all of them in various aspects, including the importance of oversight from bodies such as fiscal councils in terms of looking and providing objective, independent views on the fiscal and budget outlook. Now, This here is the way in which we orientate a lot of our work, the way in which we engage with ministries of finance and budget officers. It's also got innovations in each of these areas in terms of how they're evolving. Have tried to put a link to both our website and the material there for you. It's really today to give you this snapshot to say, this is how we're thinking about our work and for you to have access to it. With that, I'm sure my 3 minutes is up and just grateful for the time and to see everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. And thank you for sticking to time. Exciting things and initiatives from OECD. And if you have more materials to share about the topics that you have just cited, please do not hesitate to link them in our Zoom chat or email it to us, Andrew, and then we can feature them in our newsletters and share it with members of the network later on. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, at this point, we'll go ahead to our next speaker. Let me call on Lorena. I think she's here. I saw her, right? Lorena Del Paso Rivero to share updates from the International Monetary Fund, or IMF. Please take it away, Lorena. Is she here? I don't think. Okay, so maybe she's not yet here. I think I saw her earlier. But while waiting for her, we can move on to the next presenter, another gift lead steward. I think Austin is here, Austin Endikwelu from the International Budget Partnership. If it's okay with you, Austin, you can go ahead and share business updates from the International Budget Partnership. Thank you.
Thanks, Marianne. Thanks, everyone. I don't have a PowerPoint to present, so I'll just simply speak to a few of the highlights of what's been happening on our own side. So beginning with the Open Budget Survey, so the OBS, the Open Budget Survey, aims to advance fiscal transparency, accountability, and public participation. And we do this through collaborative efforts with governments, with civil society organizations, and with international partners. So for 2024, this year we released the latest version or latest edition of the Open Budget Survey. It covered a total of 125 countries, and these 125 countries are home to 95% of the world's population, roughly 7.5 billion people. And in terms of the coverage of the budget across these 125 countries, we are covering budgets in the region of $33.5 trillion US for fiscal year 2022 alone. Some of the, we normally follow up with advocacy engagement with our civil society partners, as well as other partners, including international actors, government and accountability actors, including Supreme Audit institutions and legislature. And in total, we've conducted a total of 136 closed door meetings and 63 open events involving about nearly 3,000 participants globally since the launch of the OBS. And these activities emphasize fiscal transparency and stakeholder collaboration. There are two countries that I want to share as an example. Based on our engagement working with our partners in those countries, we've supported Ethiopia's government in publishing its first ever executive budget proposal, including the data in a machine-readable format, and also coming up with an updated PFM reform strategy that explicitly referenced the OBS. In Cambodia, working with our partners there and the government has taken action to improve budget transparency, including the design of guidelines on the preparation of the citizens' budget book and the draft strategy for public participation, and also mandating all the line ministries to publish citizens' budgets. The co-op collaborating for open and accountable budget, it's closely connected to the OBS. And for that, we're currently working or supporting partners and governments in 31 countries, doing what we call light touch engagements. And some of what we're seeing so far, we've conducted several country visits, we've completed country assessments with our partners, we produce country advocacy plans that are based on the assessments and the OBS findings. And also we've conducted capacity development in almost all of these countries and issued sub-grants to some of our CSO partners. And then some of what we're seeing thus far with the the co-op project is that across all the target countries, I'm talking about 31 countries, we have civil society organizations making a total of 82 actions, proposing a total of 82 actions related to public participation in terms of trying to get governments to begin to implement some of those actions. And a total of 98 actions around oversight of the budget and 75 actions already proposed on transparency, and this comes to a total of 255 separate recommendations that our partners have made across the different countries. There are other things we've done during the last annual meetings. We had a panel session, and we had in our panel speakers from civil society, from the IMF, and we were looking at the subject of looking at debt accountability. How do we begin to strengthen domestic accountability around debt rather than focusing on upward transparency in terms of providing timely data? So, and it was a successful session. Going forward, we want to deepen our work around strengthening domestic accountability around debt, and we're working with civil society actors and all other actors. There was a recent PFM PEFA conference in Ethiopia. We were a panelist there, and we continue to emphasize the fact that for PFM reforms or budget reforms, we should not only focus on the technical components, but the inclusion or inclusiveness aspect, as well as working politically and thinking politically, is also very key to achieving results. There are lessons that we've learned, which I'm happy to share during the plenary if anybody has got any questions around what we're learning. But just to say, in terms of looking forward, we've been engaging around how transparency, public participation, and oversight can strengthen the financing for development agenda. Currently this week, the second PrepCon for the 4th International Conference for Financing for Development is happening in New York. IBP, we are holding 2 panels sessions. One comes up tomorrow connected to the Open Budget Survey and how that connects to the agenda. And then on Friday, with the Open Contracting Partnership, we'll be looking at the budget execution, things around procurement, cash management, and related challenges to budget execution, and how they impact on the issue of financing for development. So those will be the highlights from IBP.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the very comprehensive updates. Austin, so many accomplishments. Congratulations. So many figures that you shared, 255 recommendations. That's a lot. And so congratulations on all the efforts that IBP is leading in advancing fiscal openness across the globe and together with your partners. Please don't hesitate to share in the chat the link to, if there's an online registration to the upcoming panels and events that you have mentioned. So maybe our stewards present here in our meeting would like to listen in and participate there. Please share it with us or email it to us, and then we can share also to members of the network later. Thanks, Austin. Okay, I'm looking at the attendance in the room. If I can just again remind everyone to rename yourselves with your full name and organization so we can better identify each other institutionally. That would be great, please. And again, welcome to the new participants joining us this afternoon. Okay. At this point, from IBP, from our international partners, let's move on to, and let's fly to Guanajuato, Mexico, because I see Erica's here. Nice to see you again, Erica. So she's the Director General of the Budget from Mexico's, Guanajuato's Secretaría de Finanzas del Estado. So I'll let you provide the updates now. The floor is yours, Erica, and feel free to speak in Spanish.
Hola, muy buenos días a todas, a todos. De
Hi,
verdad
good
un
morning,
gusto
everyone. It is my
ponernos
pleasure being here
nuestros
once again.
rumbos. Para mí es un privilegio poder
So for me, it's a
representar
privilege to
al
represent
subnacional
the
de
subnational
México, que es
from
Guanajuato,
Mexico, that is in
donde hemos
Guanajuato,
trabajado
where we
arduamente
have
para
been
ir
working
actualizando
really hard in
precisamente
order
el
to
portal que hemos
update
tenido
the portal
también
that
ya
we
desde
have had
2020,
since 2020.
y se ha ido actualizando
And we've been updating it.
para este año. Pues bueno, no tenemos una presentación
So
como
for
tal,
this
pero
year, we
sí
don't
me
have any
gustaría
presentation, but I would like
compartirles
to
ahorita
share
en el
with
chat
you
la liga del
here
portal.
within
Ojalá
the chat
pudieran
the link of
navegar
our
ahí.
website.
Es una
Hopefully you
nueva
can surf
actualización.
it.
Justamente
This is a new
tenemos
update, and
unos
actually now
días
we have
que
just a
presentamos
couple of
esta
days
actualización
that
con la
we
entrega
presented
del
this update
presupuesto al Congreso
with the
del
delivery
Estado.
of the budget with the
Entonces,
Congress of the
¿qué
state.
innovaciones tenemos? Bueno, creo
So
que no
which are the
habíamos
innovations that we
presentado
have
el
so
tema
far?
de
I think that we haven't
un módulo
presented a
de
module
financiamiento de deuda,
of
como
financing
tenemos
of
en
debts,
México,
as
donde
we call it in
presentamos
Mexico, in
justamente
which we
cuáles son
present
los
actually
saldos
which are
que
the
tiene el Estado,
balance
cómo
that the
está el
state has,
comportamiento de
how is the
endeudamiento en el
behavior
Estado
of the
y
debts that the
también
state
cómo las
has, and also
calificadoras
how the qualifiers,
internacionales,
international
Moody's,
qualifiers,
Fitch, Standard
Moody's,
Poor's,
Fitch,
han
Standard and Poor's,
calificado al Estado
how
como
they
una
have
liquidez que
rated the
viene con
state with the
con
liquidity
esta
that they have with
información
this
que es de manera
information
transparente.
that is
Entonces, la
transparent.
ciudadanía puede
So
acceder
citizens can get
a esta
access
información
to
de una
this
manera muy
information
accesible,
in a very
en
accessible
datos
way
abiertos,
with open data,
con alguna dinámica ahí que permita
with an
tener
activity that will
muchísimo
allow
más
them to
fluidez en la
have more
información, mayor
fluidity with
entendimiento.
information, more
Y recientemente
understanding about it.
en esta
And
edición de
recently, with this
2024,
edition of
iniciamos con
2024,
un proyecto
we
de chatbot.
initiated with a chatbot
Ha sido una innovación
plan.
un
It is an
poco,
innovation
a
that
lo
has
mejor en
been,
una
let's
primera
say,
etapa,
in the first
menos
stage,
dinámica que
a
la que
a
quisiéramos. La
little
verdad,
bit
apenas
less
nos estamos
dynamic.
estrenando
We are new
en este
on this
concepto,
topic with
pero
this
ha
new
tenido muy buena
concept, but
aceptación.
we have
Hemos
had a lot of
revisado las
good
visitas que ha
acceptation. We
tenido
have
el portal
analyzed the
ahorita
visits that the
para la
website have
discusión
had
del
for the
presupuesto por parte
discussion of the
del
budget
Congreso.
on behalf of the
Entonces,
Congress, for instance.
esperamos nuestro
So
avatar,
hopefully our
se llama
avatar,
Clarita
it
Cuentas,
is
para que
called
la
Clarita
conozcan.
Cuentas for you to know
Es
her.
una chica que nos va a responder
It's a
qué
girl,
es el
it's a
presupuesto,
she that is going
cómo se
to let us know
maneja,
how the
cuál
budget
es el
is going
histórico de
on, how it
Guanajuato,
is working
cuánto
with the budget of
estamos
Guanajuato,
invirtiendo en
how much we
Guanajuato,
are investing in
donde hay un
Guanajuato,
mapa
where,
georreferenciado de
because we
las
have a
obras
map
públicas,
where we have the
entonces
public
con evidencia
activities.
fotográfica.
So
Entonces,
with
estamos muy
evidences of
emocionados de
pictures,
que la
we are really
ciudadanía lo
excited that
conozca, lo
citizens will
discuta
get to
y
know
sobre
this.
todo se
They will
involucre
discuss
en las
about it and they will
decisiones
get
que están
involved
tomando,
with all the
porque es una
decisions
nueva política,
making,
es la primera
because this
vez
is
que
a new
tenemos a
policy.
una
This is the
mujer
first time that we
que
have a
gobierna el
woman
estado de Guanajuato.
ruling the state of
Entonces, las
Guanajuato.
políticas
So all
públicas
the public
también ahí
policies
están haciendo
also
un
are
cambio.
making a
Entonces, estamos
change
bastante
already.
emocionados con
So
estas
we are actually
actualizaciones.
very
Ahorita les
excited with
comparto
these
en el chat
updates. I will
la
share with
liga
you
de
on the
nuestro
chat
portal.
the
Ojalá
link
puedan
of our
conocerlo.
website.
Y
Hopefully
como
you can
miembros
surf it. And as members
de la red, pues también nos
of the
gustaría conocer
network,
su
we would also
retroalimentación.
like to
Si
know
tuvieran
your
alguna
feedback. If
propuesta,
you have any
algún
proposal, if
comentario,
you have
la
any
verdad es que nos
comments so
vendría
far,
bastante bien para
actually
mejorar
those
cada
are
día.
going to be good for us so we
Yo
can
creo que me
improve
quedo con
every
esos
day.
comentarios, Mariana.
And those
Muchas
are my
gracias.
comments. So thank you, Marianne.
Thank you. Wow, exciting updates. Implementation of AI in PFM. We would love to learn more about it, learn more from your experience as you pilot this initiative. We'd love to meet Clarita Cuentos and maybe in future sessions that we're organizing. AI and digital tools in PFM is a very timely and relevant issue and topic that we'd love to have more discussions on in the network. So when that happens, we'll definitely invite you and Guanajuato, Erica. And for everyone, Erica, we'll see Erica again next week as they are co-organizing session 2 on promoting innovative and meaningful uses of budget data. So we'll see and hear more about Guanajuato's experience there. Okay. Thank you again. So now I think we can move on from Mexico to fly to the African continent again. Let me now call on Jay Cruz, the director of the Public Service Accountability Monitor, or PSAM, based in Rhodes University and also our very close partner and steward in the GIFT network. Jay, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Marianne. If you wouldn't mind just giving me screen sharing, I'd just like to screen share one pager, please.
Sure. Okay, let me just make you co-host. There. Oh, okay, perfect.
Thank you, Marianne. So just a quick update from PSAM in South Africa. So we were the lead researchers for the Open Budget Survey concerning South Africa, and we also contributed to the IBP's global release of those results in May of this year. More recently, we co-convened a webinar with UNICEF to reflect upon the OBS results across sub-Saharan Africa. We had representation at that webinar from National Treasury and the Auditor General's Office, who provided responses to the OBS findings and recommendations, and we can share a recording if people are interested. In another project, the Action for Accountability project, we coordinated 2 petitions with a view to informing the budget processes at local level so as to better prioritize services, and that those petitions have been lodged and an action plan is being developed. At the transnational level, we've been assisting the SADC Parliamentary Forum to roll out a scorecard to assist member states in assessing the adequacy of their public finance management laws against the provisions of a model law that we assisted in developing and which was adopted unanimously in 2022. The scorecard tool is designed to support reflection and reform processes across member states. In another project, the Kuyenda Collective, which is concerned with addressing learning in the sub-Saharan Africa, we've been focused on system strengthening and equipping rural youth with the ability to participate in budget processes that affect their lives, and of course access to education services and the betterment of them. And we can share some material there. And then we also delivered a course, the 36th installment of our monitoring course, which trained 15 practitioners from across various countries in context of an 11-day program. And that course continues to be oversubscribed in terms of interest and attendance. Last week, we contributed to the IBP and World Bank's Reimagining Public Finance Dialogue. And this week, our program head for South Africa, Zukiswa Kota, will be participating in the OGP's Open Americas Summit as a member of the Global OGP Steering Committee. I will leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jay. And congratulations also on demonstrating leadership in the field. So many things that PSAM has been leading and also leveraging on the OGP platform to advance our shared goals in this space. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we have, and among those who expressed intentions to present ahead of the meeting today, we also have the Emerging Markets Investors Alliance, another one of our stewards in the network. So at this point, I'd like to call Mr. Gabriel Torres, the director of this alliance on debt and fiscal governance program. I see him in attendance. Please take it away, Mr. Torres. Yeah. Gabriel, can you hear us? Okay. Don't think he can hear us. Well, we'll wait for you if you can hear us and if you still are interested to present and share your updates, we'll call you again later. Thanks. But now I also see that we have in the room, I think lastly, the Philippines is here. I see Undersecretary of the Philippine Department of Budget and Management, my old boss. Hi, sir. Undersecretary Rolando Toledo is here, and they have a little announcement and an invitation to share with the members of the network. Now I give the floor to you, Yusek, please.
All right. Yeah. Yes. Good evening to everyone. So I just came late. Okay, just arrived from the office to my house. Okay, but yes, but not exactly an update from our what we are doing in the Philippines, but on the fiscal side. But I just want to also share with you our exciting update from our country. So last steward meeting, we announced that the Philippines is hosting of the OGP 2025 Asia and the Pacific Regional Meeting. Now, to date, our preparation is in full swing, and we are thrilled to invite everyone here to join the 2025 Asia and the Pacific Regional Meeting happening in Manila. That is on February 5 to 7 next year, 5 to 6, all right, 7 next year. So we invite you to join the conversation, be a part of the commitment, create a better future through our open government. I think registration is now live for the 2025 OGP Asian the Pacific Regional Meeting. Okay, so also in line with this regional meeting, I understand you have manifested your interest to have the host one of our events in the upcoming OGP Asia Pacific and the Pacific Asian the Pacific meeting. So yes, I don't know if we can have the give you a sneak preview. Robin, probably you can share to them that sneak preview that's for all to watch.
Oh, we lost the video, Robin.
There
Make
you
sure
are.
to share the audio also. Wow.
Okay, there you have it. I hope we can see you come February.
I hope so, sir. We're actually Gift and IBP. We're co-hosting a breakout session on fiscal openness. So we'd love to see
Of
everyone
course.
there. Yes. And we'll see you
Right.
in person, sir. Definitely drop
Okay, good. All right.
office. Okay, and of course, as what Yusek Raleigh has shared, we also hope to see more members of the gift network in the OGP Asia and the Pacific regional meeting. It's going to be a good venue for us to get together again in person, so we can move out of Zoom and then also spend some personal time and catch up time with everybody outside our computer screens. All right. Thank you again to our updates. I was pumped up with the video of the Philippines. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any additional um representatives, or is anyone else interested to share um live in our plenary updates? No, no takers? Okay, going once, going twice. Going thrice. Okay. All right. I'll take that as a no. So again, uh, um, again for all of our sharers, please don't hesitate to share more materials on the updates that you have shared on the materials, on the learning resources that you may have from your organizations. Some may not have been able to share on mic, but they have provided updates via our stewards survey that we have sent previously. I know Gustavo, he provided updates. Our colleagues from the Ministry of Hacienda, Finance in Costa Rica, thank you for providing updates. We also have updates coming from the Institute of Public Finance that sent in, and our colleagues from Europe Foundation in Georgia has also provided updates. So please feel free to also send us updates or fill out that same survey so we can document whatever progress you have. And also, we'd love to learn more about your efforts in your country and in your organizations. Please do send us more information. We'd love to feature them in blogs or in our next newsletters, or invite you to more peer learning sessions. Definitely, I think AI and PFM in the future will have more discussions about that together with our partners in the network. We'd love to have you there as well. Yeah, and so I guess that wraps up our gift steward update. Thank you and congratulations again to all the gains achieved by our stewards and partners. A round of applause via Zoom. Though you clearly deserve more than, a round of applause on Zoom beyond this virtual meeting. And we continue to root for you on more gains and achievement of all the plans that you have shared moving forward. So at this point, I'd now like to turn over the floor again to our network manager, Raquel Ferreira, for the discussion of the gift work plan updates. See you again, Raquel.
Thank you very much. Could you kindly please share the presentation? Thank you. Okay. So great to be back with you and to hear all of those great updates from around the globe. And now I'm going to share a bit with you from a gift perspective. So earlier this year, our lead stewards, next slide, please, Marianne. So earlier this year, our lead stewards, that is the International Monetary Fund, the International Budget Partnership, the World Bank, the International Federations of Accountants, and the governments of Brazil, Mexico, and the Philippines met and confirmed GIFT's value proposition within the evolving fiscal openness landscape. They agreed that GIFT is uniquely positioned, next slide please, within this ecosystem to fill a niche role in 3 impactful focus areas. So the first of these areas is related to our network. The second, in the advancement of fiscal transparency and public participation. And the third area relates to technology and innovation. Firstly, it was found that our biggest asset is our network and that it should be made stronger. As you know, GIFT was established in 2011. Essentially, its mission is that it is an action network that works towards sustained and measurable improvements in fiscal transparency and inclusive public participation by advancing global norms, peer learning, collaborative assistance, and promoting the use of digital tools. We are currently comprised of 58 stewards or members, essentially bringing together ministries of finance, civil society organizations, international financial institutions, and other stakeholders to find, share, and advance solutions to challenges in fiscal openness. So we are in Africa, in Benin, Liberia, Nigeria, South Africa, and Tunisia. In the Americas, notably in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, then a city of Bogota, Colombia, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, including the state that we've heard of from today, from Erica, then Paraguay, Uruguay, and the United States. In Asia, we have our colleagues here today from the Philippines, and we also have stewards from Indonesia. And in Europe, we have stewards in Croatia, in Georgia, in Cascais, Portugal, and the Ukraine. Additionally, outside of these countries, we've also collaborated with stakeholders in different countries with many partners, such as Côte d'Ivoire, Egypt, Lesotho, and Senegal. We're also going to start a project shortly in Ghana. The network really fosters an environment of open dialogue and partnership, essentially bridging the gap between governments and non-government stakeholders. The non-contractual framework within the network really promotes trust and mutual cooperation. We really aim to elevate and strengthen this further by fostering deeper engagement and really maximizing what we have as our collective impact. This entails bringing stewards together globally and regionally towards encouraging greater collaboration and synergy in our focal areas. We essentially want to cultivate partnerships across diverse regional landscape, including in Asia, Africa, and the Americas, essentially to broaden our reach and deepen our impact, particularly in the global south. Then looking at our second niche area, our second impact area, next slide please, looks at advancing transparency and public participation in fiscal policies. So, when GIF came into being, it focused on developing global norms. So one of the first acts of the network was the publication in 2012 of the Principles on Transparency, Public Participation, and Accountability, essentially providing guidance on how the many different norms and standards issued by many different institutions in the field could be used practically. In 2016, we issued principles focused solely on public participation, which was really a first in the area. And the most recent principles that we approved at our 2022 Stewards General meeting in Bogota were on tax transparency, often a more neglected area in the field. But now that these principles are largely developed, we are focusing more on supporting stewards and partners in their implementation towards meaningful fiscal transparency and inclusive public participation. This includes providing training, so courses, and more tailored guidance on fiscal openness to ensure that it is meaningful. Now, we stress the word meaningful because we don't want fiscal transparency and public participation to merely be a tick box exercise. By implementing strategies to counteract traditionally low global public participation levels, shown again in the International Budget Partnership's Open Budget Survey of 2023, towards fostering a culture of engagement and accountability. We're also looking to develop a maturity model across our network to inspire stakeholders at different levels of development. So we're very proud that half of the top 10 countries in the Open Budget Survey of 2023 are GIF stewards. So that is 5 of the 10 are GIF stewards. So we have the very high performers in the network, but we also have those that need a bit more help. This model aims to encourage collaboration and knowledge sharing, empowering stakeholders to assist each other in reaching higher levels of effectiveness and impact. Together, we really want to strive to create and inspire a race to the top in promoting fiscal transparency and public participation worldwide. Then looking at our third impact area, it really has a technology-forward focus. A focus on technology and innovation drives our efforts forward with a strategic emphasis on technical peer learning and support. We leverage our expertise to bring together diverse stakeholders and cutting-edge resources. We really provide an agile, non-contractual, trust-based platform that serves as a fertile ground for developing, testing, and piloting new initiatives. As you know, we've done a lot of work on open data platforms, priority goal tagging systems, and transparency portals. This has been very useful to all of us within the network. We are now looking at establishing an innovation hub to capitalize on research experiences and the growing emphasis on digitalization and data standardization efforts. This is essentially to facilitate the tracking of public resources all the way from budgets to the people these resources are meant to reach on the ground in respect of development priorities, such as those in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, including in respect of poverty alleviation, gender equality, and climate action. Now looking at more specific projects. Since 2020, we have partnered with UNICEF Egypt in providing support to the Ministries of Finance and Planning with a specific focus on children and youth. This year, we updated the Fiscal Transparency Review and provided several recommendations for improvements. We've also held hybrid engagements with key stakeholders in Egypt, received great feedback from them, and are excited to see the recommendations being implemented. Then in Liberia, during 2024, we worked very closely with the DAI through a USAID project on deliverables related to enhancing fiscal transparency and public participation across a range of government and non-government stakeholders, including holding two very well-received missions held in March and April of this year, respectively. Then turning to Georgia. Since 2021, GIFT has partnered with the Europe Foundation on enhancing fiscal transparency and public participation in Georgia. This year, we had a very exciting project in that we've been working on an analytical tool to monitor and assess public participation mechanisms at the local level in 11 pilot municipalities. This includes providing results, providing a report of our findings, and also training, the provision of training to key stakeholders. Then going to South America. Since last year, GIFT has been working with the GIZ and the European Union in promoting a more open, inclusive, and green public financial management in El Salvador. Significant progress has already been made in the review of the fiscal openness landscape and in drafting improvement recommendations, including for open data, website design, citizen-friendly budget documents, and public participation. Successful in-country missions have also been held, including in June of this year, where a cooperation agreement was actually signed between the Ministry of Finance and the European Union on fiscal transparency. Then turning to the Advancing for Fiscal Transparency for Development online course. We were very proud this year to add a Spanish version of the course that launched in September, in addition to the English and French versions that have been available since 2022. Next year, we are excited to launch the Arabic version. Juan André will elaborate more on the course and exciting incentives that we are now offering in his presentation coming up after mine. Then turning to tax transparency. We are currently also collaborating with the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom and the International Budget Partnership in the production of a tax transparency course to be launched next year in 2025. This course is based on GIFT's transparency principles for tax policy and administration that I mentioned earlier that we issued in 2022 on the back of GIFT's compendium titled Making Tax Work, a Framework for Enhancing Tax Transparency. Please thus watch this space in that regard. Then, as I said earlier, we're very excited to start a new project in Ghana aimed at enhancing fiscal transparency and public participation across a range of stakeholders. Next slide, please. Turning to other network engagements, GIF coordination team members have been involved in a range of user engagement hackathon activities across Network Stewards. You will hear about many of these exciting initiatives at the next session of the Stewards General Meeting to be held next week. I will also be representing GIFT at the National Forum on Citizen Engagement and Good Governance to be held in Abidjan from 9 to 11 December 2024. Then, as you've heard from our colleagues in the Philippines and you've heard from Marianne, preparations are currently being undertaken for the OGP Asia Pacific Regional Event to be held in Manila from February 5 to 7, 2025, where we are very excited to be co-hosting a session on public participation. And on the sidelines, we'll also have Advancing Fiscal Transparency for Development Course Awards, presented really to recognize our colleagues from the Philippines who have shown great leadership, who signed a memorandum of understanding with GIFT to roll out the online course to government officials, and also to recognize the best performing students that have emerged. I don't want to take the thunder from Juan Andre, as he's going to share more about this in his presentation, but I would like to say, please approach us if you'd like to make similar arrangements for participants from your country and institution. The course is free and it's a great resource available to our network for you to use. And that is all from me for now, Marianne. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Raquel, for the very comprehensive updates on where we are with our work plan and our upcoming plans and events. We're now opening the floor for any questions, comments, or insights, feedback that you may have on the work plan, or if you have any additional information to share, any areas of collaboration that you can think of, please feel free to raise your hand or put your feedback on chat. Flag me if anyone is raising anything or raising the hand, but I'm going once. Going twice, thrice. Okay, I don't think anyone wants to share insight on mic. So if there's no additional comments, feedback, we're proceeding to the last, but also I think very exciting part of today's session. We have exciting announcements, again, as mentioned by Raquel. And I think our colleagues from the Philippines are surprised that there will be awards happening in the OGP Asia Pacific. But yes, you'll hear more about that in the next presentation on the rollout of our GIFT online course on advancing fiscal transparency for development. So not to keep you waiting further, I now turn over the floor to GIFT Senior Technical Advisor, Juan Andres Rochman. Juan Andres, take it away.
Thank you very much, Marian, for your introduction. I am very happy to be able to show you, tell you a little bit about the course and what we're going to go forward. Next slide, please. Okay. And now, what we are doing, we started this course in English and French in 2022, and in September this year we launched the Spanish version. We had a very high demand. We started in September. We had more than 500 people taking the course, with webinars, with a lot of them assisting the webinars, and now this version in Spanish is also totally is available, totally asynchronic to take it, the same as the English and French. And on the next year, we're going to also launch the Arabic version. what what our what the people that take the course really like about the course is that we're not like having a course from an ivory tower, like very theoretical. We're asking like the practitioners, the people with real experience, like to to talk in this course, and we are based in you guys, in all the practitioners that are making like the difference in fiscal transparency and public participation, and the people really appreciate that. We are having a full stakeholder approach. We are talking about the role of all the key people, in the Ministry of Finance, in the legislature, in the government agents, like the civil society, all of them. Next slide, please. The course is organized in 5 models. It's totally asynchronic. They can do it in whenever in wherever they want. Generally, a student like is able to finish 1 model per week if they like work around 6-8 hours per week. And the course have 5 models. That means in 5 weeks they can complete the course, being totally compatible with full-time work. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the content of the course in model 1. Please change it. Next slide. In model 1, we start with an introduction of what is fiscal transparency, what are the benefits, who is involved. Then next slide, in the model 2, we talk about the key external actors in fiscal transparency and public participation. Then we move to next slide in the model 3. In the model 3, we talk about the international norms and standards required to show to have like more transparency, and what are the difference between these standards. And model next slide, please. Model 4. In model 4, we talk about the internal system and digital tools for better implementation. We talk about open data. We talk about what digital tools and guidance materials are available to assist practitioners in doing this. And finally, next slide, in model 5, we talk about how we can make changes and what are the difficulties in advancing fiscal transparency. We all that we are here, we know how difficult it is. But when you are in your own country, like you think like everything is against you, like, sometimes you don't realize that other countries have like the same problem that you have, and we can use these other strategies that other countries had used like before to make like changes that really matter for people. And with this is the course. Next slide. We are having a very good response from the graduate. Now you can continue putting like clicks, and it's going to appear like the comments. Is the graduates, the people that take the course really like it. We're very happy with that. Generally, what they like, as I told you before, is the practical approach. This practical experience, like having people from the network, having people that some of you like have like help us like talking in a webinar, or being like one of the the teachers in the course. They really appreciate that someone like with this real experience is talking about their experience and how they did the things. Additionally, the other thing that they really like, next slide, is that it's the first time that you can see all the information together. If you go in another topics in climate change, you can go to Coursera, you can go to different different international organizations, and you can see the other courses that are like in the top. Here we haven't seen another course that summarize and like take all the different information like spread and condensate it in one course. Therefore, like we don't have like close substitutes. Next slide. Thank you. And what we're at now, like the news that we have, generally like students really like to have like we give a certificate of all the students that complete the course, complete successfully the course, and that the people this really value because they can show like of the interest in fiscal transparency, but and also like the knowledge that they have achieved. But we wanted to go a little bit farther and recognize all the efforts and all that the institutions and the countries are doing to improve fiscal transparency. And next year, we're going to hold award ceremonies to recognize this effort. And this is like I think it's really necessary like to show like that some work that sometimes people don't see, the general public don't see, but also it's good for us because in that way we can motivate other countries like and other institutions to go in these steps. We're going to have like these ceremonies like recognizing the institutions with the higher number of course graduates, with the high also like we're going to recognize people that have like that have high performance during the course, and we can reach some a lot of people like with our networks, with the people that we know, and with our social media. But I think it's making a really difference, like when you and some of you in your institutions, in your government, post it in your intranet, in your website, and share with the public servants. Therefore, like I would like to ask you if you can like, talk to me, and we can do an agreement, an MOU. We can it can be like part of your training programs. It's totally free, the course. It's totally asynchronic. Is compatible with working full time. And as I told you, like it's a very good way like to have all the information that you need like for fiscal transparency and public participation. And people get really excited about the topic, and we need more of these champions, more people that you like guys that are like here in the room that follow your lead. And therefore, like I would like that to ask you if we can talk, we can do some agreements, and we can like if you can share with your people like this course in your organizations, in your countries. Next slide. Therefore, like we are going like sometimes we work too quiet, And what we are going to do is do this recognition for different different institutions to have the highest number of registered participants in one country, in one institution, the higher number of graduates by country. We can have like virtual graduation ceremonies with you. We are also going to use like the social platforms to share this. We're very happy like the work, especially for example, that Philippines is doing there. Like they have like they are working with us, like they are like incorporate this program in their capacitation of the people, and we really value that, and we really thank you that. And I think we want to share with you like this, like to recognize Philippines, but also to motivate like the rest of you. Like you can be like you can do like the same. We would love to have you more people. And next slide. If you have any questions, if you want to know more, please send me an email. Like we can talk and we can accommodate of your needs. I think we can find some way to work together. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you. Thank you, Juan Andres. I think we have a question from the floor. From Vahid Fetik. Please go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yes, please. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Raquel, and everyone. So I just wanted to ask about the PPT here. Will it be shared with us later so I can? Okay, thank you. That's all. Because this looks really something that I could share with my colleagues, and I would be eager at least to share and to see where the discussion will go from there. So yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Yes, we will be creating a web page where we will be posting all of the materials from the Stewards General Meeting sessions. Yes. Any questions, additional information to be provided? Just wanted to share in terms of the Philippines, the Department of Budget and Management has 2 attached agencies with the highest number of graduates from the country. So after OGP Estonia, we were able to sign a memorandum of agreement with the Government Procurement Policy Board, and also the PS Procurement Service has been able to actually enroll a lot of its staff members in the course, and so they were able to produce the highest number of graduates in the course. So they will be recognized and awarded as in the sidelines of the OGP Asia Pacific meeting next year. So we look forward to giving more awards to more members of the network. If you're interested, please reach out to Juan Andres. If you have any more questions, also don't hesitate to reach out or contact us. Any questions? Yes, Sir Raleigh. I know it's very late for you. Thank you for staying until the end. It's already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Anyway, we're excited to I'm happy to hear that the GPP BNR PS that's agency that they will be given an award for this for this taking the course. Now my question is for Juan Andres of to the gift is do we have some sort of a concrete example for having this to say this training or this is there any some sort example of a concrete program that has been done by any other countries in having this attending this training program, what they have done to their countries?
I'm going to start answer, but if I don't fully answer, please feel free like after I talk like to dig like more deeply. We have like the agreement with you in the Philippines, and we have like made some. We have some countries that they have like a lot of participants. We are talking with other countries like to see like to sign more agreements, and some countries have like incorporate this in the regular training program. That they are like they are is part of their training program, and I think this is something that it has really helped us like to achieve more participants. What also I like about this program of what we are doing is that it's very current. We have developed all the material like in the last few years, and we have like actualized it with the webinars. We have and I was just yesterday talking with in a meeting with in fact with Eric that is here, and with the budget director in Costa Rica, and he was telling me like, oh, how like is how he really like how the Dominican Republic is doing public participation, like the government is doing public participation, and like how like an expert from the OECD, like it's very well known in budget transparency, like. And then I told them like in our course we have like the person in charge in the government for public participation in Dominican Republic telling us how they have done it. And with this expert that he was mentioned, like we say like we have her like in our webinar. This I think also is really valuable, and people is having like is taking advantage of this like real experience from real life. But I'm not sure if I fully answer your question. But maybe Raquel want to go like further.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm struggling to actually put my hand up officially on Zoom, so please excuse for the old-fashioned way of putting up my hand. Also important to mention that we've also got an MOU signed with Liberia. So Liberia's got a fiscal transparency advisory group. And one of their key recommendations was that the rollout of the course in Liberia would be very effective in rolling out knowledge to not only Ministry of Finance officials, but also to all of the members of this advisory committee that include civil society organizations and diverse groups. So that's another country that is also taking the course quite actively. And we've also been in talks with other countries for the English and the French versions of the course. I think the idea is that it can be a country itself, can be a Ministry of Finance, but it can also be a civil society organization or any institution in the country that would benefit from the course. From our perspective, this course is not only for the coordination team. This is a great resource that we've had the privilege of developing, that the US Department of State has generously funded, but it's a course that belongs to the GIFT network. So as stewards of the GIFT network, we invite you to use it in your capacity building. As really, it's easy to use, it's easy to roll out. So please use it. You know, a lot of the stewards in this room also helped us in the course. So we've got videos in the course from the OECD, Andrew Blasey. He did a great video for us in Module 3. We've got Under Secretary Toledo talking to us in the course. So it really was a collaborative effort to develop this course. And now we want the GIFT network to use it. It's yours. It's ours. please use it, take advantage of it, and talk to us how we could customize it to make it useful for you. So that is why we're bringing the incentives to enable you to encourage people from institutions, from your institution, to take the course. So do, as Juan Andreas said, feel free to reach out to us and we can come up with unique arrangements for your particular institution, country. Thank you.
Thank you, Raka. And maybe just to add a little bit more insight as to how we were able to convince or coordinate with other the attached agencies of the DBM, sir. With, for example, with GPPB, with the Government Procurement Policy Board, we signed an MOU, and part of the MOU is their commitment to promote the course within their institution and social media. They have also integrated it into their e-learning platform on the GPPP website. So that's part of the agreement signed with Executive Director Ruiz. And then there's another entry point, which is what we have done with PS, with the procurement service, which is they just committed to do it. And then at the time, former Executive Director Dennis Santiago, coming from his commitment in our conversations during OGP Estonia last year. Is that last year? Yes. Last year, he committed to enroll the PS staff to the course, and that's what he did. We never signed anything, but he released a department order encouraging the staff to enroll to the course. And then part of our commitment also was to provide regular monthly reports on how many people have enrolled, how many people have completed the course. So our partner agencies and institutions are also aware where they are or where their institution is in terms of progressing in completing the course. So I hope that addressed your comments and the questions, sir. Any more questions on the floor? No, everything is clear. I hope you're all encouraged to enroll and promote the course. Now that maybe
A third MOA will be coming when you go to the Philippines comes February.
yes. Maybe you can now encourage the whole of DBM, sir, not only attached
Not
agencies.
only in the DBM, but also probably as a national, probably we can do that because right now, since we have this, what we call the meeting in the Malacanang, we're in the forum, we're in anti-corruption, and probably this could be one of the program that we can introduce. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, exciting updates. We'll talk more about it separately, sir.
Yes.
With each other, definitely. Okay. Definitely, I'll follow that up with you. Okay. If there are no more questions, I guess that's it. Thank you, everyone. Well, that wraps up the session. Thank you again for staying until the end, especially Sir Rolly, our colleagues from the Philippines coming home late, but still continuing working at home at 11, at 10 o'clock in the evening for you. And for all of you who have joined us today, you're making time in your morning, in your afternoon, and in your evening, and stayed until the end. And so now to officially close our session, not to further delay continuing your day and your night, let me call on the floor once more our Gift Network Manager, Raquel Ferreira.
Thank you very much, Marianne, and thank you all for joining us today, for sharing your updates, and for the very insightful discussions. We've learned a lot from each other today. Before I close, I'd like to remind you of our upcoming session on promoting innovative and meaningful uses of budget data, showcasing the 2024 Data Quests and Data Rally journeys. It will take place next week, Wednesday, same time, so December the 11th, 2024 at 8 a.m. EST. That would be 7 a.m. CST, 9 p.m. in the Philippines, and 2 p.m. CET. This session will feature a panel of initiative organizers and winners from selected Data Quest and Data Rally hosting countries Together, they will explore impactful strategies for expanding government, civil society collaboration and enhancing the use of fiscal data. If you haven't registered yet, be sure to do so. This is a session that you don't want to miss. With that, I officially close today's Gift General Stewards meeting. And I want to wish you all a festive and joyous holiday season ahead. For those of you that are celebrating, thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Robin, Yusek, tulog ka na.
Yeah. Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you to our interpreters.
Yes,
Bye,
thank you
Marianne.
very much.
Edgar,
Thank
Paula,
you. Merci.
Afrida, Masuk.
À
Bye, Ron.
bientôt. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
The team will stay in the
Yes.
So we'll put everyone in the waiting room if that's okay. Bye, everyone. Okay. Oh, let's
Is it
end
just...
the recording.
Oh, I did.